Maisha is with us in New York. Hi, Maisha. How are you?
I'm good, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I just wanted to ask you a question. I'm a divorced mom, 4 kids. My income is maybe, if I add my second job in, about $32 a year. My debt is roughly about $66,000 and some change. If you could tell me how long you think it might take me to pay this off?
Well, you live in a very, very, very high cost of living area, don't you?
Yes, but I also live in public housing, so I'm definitely one of your lower-end income people. Yeah.
Okay.
So my rent is based on my income.
Okay, so how much is your rent?
$705.
Okay. On a $32,000 income with 4 kids?
Yes, a daughter in college and 3 sons, a senior in high school, a sophomore in high school, and a 7th grader, and child support is sporadic.
She's trying to be nice. Okay. That's a difficult road, kiddo. I mean,
it is.
Your income in that New York City environment, your income with 4 kids, I don't know how you're making it even with a $750 house payment. When they're gone and child support is gone for sure, unless you're trying to collect back child support at that point, which you probably would be owed. If you just call me up and say, I'm single, I make $32,000 and I have $60,000 in debt and I live in New York City, I would be going, I don't know how you're going to do that.
Yeah.
So what I would tell you is this. In order for you to call me back 10 or 20 years from now and be very, very wealthy and prosperous and having a wonderful money life, something's going to have to change dramatically. The numbers you're giving me aren't going to lead you there. Okay?
Agreed.
So one of 2 things will change. Either you're going to do something with your career that triples your income, because it takes 6 figures to exist in New York City, or you're moving.
Yes.
To another area of the country that has different opportunities and a different cost of living. Now, that might be when the kids are gone, 3 years from now. You might suffer through and break even for 3 years. But I don't think you're going to be paying off a ton of debt with 4 kids, $750 rent, and $32,000 income in New York City. You're not, I mean, if you pay the payments on your debt, I think you're doing well. And paying the payments is a 20-year plan.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to give you no hope. I'm just saying you have a small shovel, a big hole.
Yeah.
And it's like, I got a teaspoon and I'm out in the yard trying to dig a ditch. And so I want to challenge you to say, okay, if we're going to stay put in this area, what are we going to do with our career to get my income up on a temporary basis and on a long-term basis by even changing careers? And what do you do for a living?
Well, I'm an office manager, and I just got that job, and I'm probably going to need to go back to school to finish my degree, which will mean having to probably take out a loan.
Maybe. It depends on what degree you're finishing and where you're working. Maybe you work someplace that pays for your degree to be finished.
Yeah, that's true. I do plan on possibly looking at.
And maybe you don't need a degree. I don't know what you're going to do. Don't just assume more education is always the answer. I want you to lay out, how old are you?
44.
Okay, so what do I want to be when I'm 54 that pays $75,000 a year?
Okay.
And I got 10 years. So what are my steps to get there? Now, that will get you out of debt.
Okay.
Not in 2 years, probably not in 3 years, but it'll probably get you out of debt in 5 years. But sitting where you're sitting is probably a 10-year plan.
Yeah.
And that's really disheartening. So I'm glad you got a new job. I'm glad you got some support on the housing right now, and that keeps the wolf away from the door. That's good. But now we've kind of got the survival taken care of. Now, past survival, how do we prosper?
Yeah, just real quick, I want to thank you. Because of reading your books, I actually started reading the Bible again.
Wow.
Because I would go back and reference the passages that you wrote in Total Money Makeover, and even though I knew I wasn't in the income bracket, it took me back to the Bible. So I've started reading that again. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I want you to understand, I'm not saying someone can't make it at $32,000 income. You can make it at $32,000 income. But you live in one of the two most expensive places in America.
I do.
To do that. And so that's very, 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 very difficult. Add to that 4 kids, add to that sporadic, in quotes, child support. So, you need a break. And you're thinking about it, so you're not stuck. You're not stuck. We just need a path. You need a flashlight and a path on how to get out of this cave, And
I'm following the baby steps. I'll continue to do it until.
Well, do that, but work on the income side of the equation or relocate within 36 months.
Okay.
One of those two things, and let's get you going in that direction. And hold on, I'm going to send you a copy of another book you need to read called Start. And you're doing a good job. You've already more than started, but really proud of you. Very well done with all the decisions you're making, and you are in the process of completely changing your life. I see big things for you in the future, but we got to change the math of your situation. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.